Okay, let's dive in. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're unpacking some sources you sent us, focusing on getting capital for your business fast, specifically something called same-day business funding. We even saw a note mentioning Joe Starcher funding mixed in there. So our mission really is to look at what these sources say this funding is, how it supposedly works, and, well, why this speed matters for you, the business owner. I have to say, just the idea of same-day funding, it feels pretty revolutionary compared to, traditional bank loans.
It really does. And the sources seem to position this speed not just as convenient, but as a direct answer to real business needs.
Like cash flow problems.
Exactly. Managing that day-to-day cash seems to be the core challenge they're addressing.
Okay, so let's look at this source, same-day business funding solutions. How do they define it?
Pretty simply, actually. Getting the capital you need exactly when you need it. Speed is the main thing.
And the process they describe sounds, well, incredibly quick.
Yeah, apply in minutes, approval potentially in hours, and then the funds hitting your account the very same business day. That's the claim.
Hmm. Apply in minutes, approved in hours. How do they manage that kind of speed? Do the sources hint at the mechanism? It seems almost too fast.
They don't spell out the deep tech, but they imply it's technology-driven, maybe using real-time data like recent sales performance.
Instead of piles of paperwork.
Right. Less focus on historical documents, more on current business health. It suggests a process built purely for, well, efficiency.
Okay, so speed is number one. What other benefits do these materials highlight?
Well, beyond the fast approval and same-day deposit, they list flexible terms and repayment options.
Flexibility. That's interesting.
Yeah, and they also make a point about no hidden fees or lengthy paperwork. Transparency, ease of access, those seem key.
That flexibility piece, for a business with, say, up and down income, that could be really helpful. Do they elaborate on what flexible means?
Not in super fine detail, but the implication is repayment structures may be aligned better with your actual cash flow. Think perhaps smaller, more frequent payments instead of one big monthly hit.
Right, smoothing things out.
That seems to be the idea, yeah. Making it easier to manage, as the source puts it.
And who is this actually aimed at? According to the sources, I mean.
They specify it's ideal for small businesses, startups, and growing companies.
Makes sense. Those are often the ones needing quick capital injections, right?
Exactly. Maybe less access to traditional lines of credit or facing sudden cash flow gaps.
And the examples they give really drive that home. Covering payroll.
Yeah, or buying inventory quickly, handling an emergency like crucial equipment breaking down.
Or even jumping on a sudden growth opportunity that needs cash now.
Precisely. These aren't niche scenarios, they're pretty common business situations. The sources frame this funding as a tool to navigate those moments.
Turning those potential crises into just manageable events.
That's the picture they paint based on their claims, yes.
And, circling back, that note we saw mentioning Joe Starcher funding just sort of fits into this overall picture of fast funding options discussed in the material.
Right, just another piece of the puzzle within the sources we reviewed on this topic.
It's also interesting, one source actually gave a specific way to learn more.
Oh.
Yeah, it included a call to action. Said you could text the word funding to 872-228-5250 for more info and personalized support. Now, obviously, we're just relaying what's in the source material, not making any endorsements, but it was notable that it was right there.
It certainly makes the information feel very direct, very actionable from that source's perspective.
So pulling it all together, the main message from these sources seems to be, don't let typical cash flow issues stop you.
Right. They present this same-day funding as a potential solution to get capital today, not weeks from now.
It connects the how, the fast process, the terms directly to solving those everyday business headaches.
Yeah, it helps you understand not just what it is, but the kind of practical impact it might have, according to them.
So if you're running a business or thinking about it, just knowing options like this exist and how they claim to work, that seems pretty valuable for planning.
Absolutely. Both for managing the day-to-day and those unexpected things that always seem to pop up.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe for you to ponder.
Okay.
If business funding can move this fast now, as these sources suggest, well, what does that change about how you might plan for growth or even handle emergencies? Does it shift the whole timeline?
That's a really interesting question. Does faster access to capital fundamentally change business strategy itself?
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.